Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Steelers Cameron Hayward addresses upcoming OTA absence. A number of veterans around the NFL are set to miss OTAs as they aim to land new contracts. That group includes Steelers defensive lineman Cameron Hayward, who will be absent from the team during upcoming OTAs. The three-time All-Pro is under contract for one more year with his $65.6 million 2020 extension set to expire. Hayward admitted in January that he needed time to evaluate his future, but he is now committed to continuing his decorated career. As a result, he is angling for an extension while missing voluntary workouts. When speaking about his situation on his Not Just Football podcast, Hayward said, "I have always attended these, but at this time it's just contract negotiations, and I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but we'll see what happens," hat tip ESPN's Brooke Pryor. Hayward, 35, has spent his entire 13-year career in Pittsburgh, establishing himself as one of the league's top interior defenders over that span. He racked up 6 straight Pro Bowls from 2017 to 22, but last season he was limited to just 11 regular season games due to a groin injury. The Ohio State product, who was healthy in time for the Steelers' wild-card game, had avoided lengthy absences each season since 2016 prior to his missed time in 2023. With just 2 sacks, this past campaign was Hayward's least productive year since his rookie campaign from a pass rush perspective. He has reached double-digit sacks 3 times in his career, though, including the 2021 and 22 seasons. A return to health could once again provide the team with a multitude of options at the defensive tackle spot, and an extension would likely lower Hayward's 2024 cap hit, $22.4 million. In Hayward's absence, the Steelers' OTAs will include veterans Larry Ogunjobi, Montravius Adams, and Dean Lowry along the D-line. Pittsburgh has also invested at the position in the draft in recent seasons with the selections of DeMarvin Leal, 2022, Keanu Benton, 2023, and Logan Lee, 2024. The latter 3 will be in the team's long-term plans, and it will be interesting to see if the same winds up being the case for Hayward. Cameron Hayward breaks silence about his holdout. While there is plenty of hope and promise for the Pittsburgh Steelers this coming season, they do have a cloud of uncertainty hovering over them in the form of Cameron Hayward's offseason holdout. He isn't participating in any workouts right now as he is looking to receive a contract extension. The veteran defensive lineman is heading into the final year of his current contract, and he said that his holdout is just standard procedure, per Pro Football Talk. "Have always attended these, but at this time it's just contract negotiations, and I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but we'll see what happens," Hayward said, via Brooke Pryor of ESPN. "I'm training hard. It's nothing I'm not doing on and off the field. I'm doing everything possible, and we'll get there when we get there." Hayward has played each of his 13 NFL seasons with the Steelers, and he was recently named to 6 straight Pro Bowls until that streak ended just last season. His production greatly dropped in 2023, partly because of a groin injury that forced him to miss 6 games. The Ohio State product had posted double-digit sacks in 2021 and 2022, but last season he only mustered 2.0 sacks. The Steelers' defense was very strong as they got back to the playoffs after a 1-year absence, but now they have a legitimate quarterback in future Hall of Famer Russell Wilson, as well as a decent backup in Justin Fields. They likely won't finish first in the rough-and-tumble AFC North, but they should, at the very least, be a legitimate contender for a playoff spot. Defensively, they have superstar pass rusher T.J. Watt, as well as Pro Bowl safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a promising young cornerback in Joey Porter Jr. Pittsburgh Steelers seemingly predicted to fire Mike Tomlin after 2024 season. Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers went through a ton of rumors during this NFL offseason. Many thought that the two sides would part ways, but that didn't end happening. Instead, Tomlin is preparing to lead the team into yet another season. Over the years, Tomlin has been one of the most successful coaches that the NFL has ever seen. In fact, he has never led the Steelers to a losing season. With that in mind, analysts are already making wild predictions about Tomlin's future with the Steelers after the 2024 NFL season. In a very strange prediction from sports analyst Colin Cowherd, he hinted that the Steelers would end up firing Tomlin after the 2024 NFL season. Did you see the last 6 quarterbacks Pittsburgh faces? Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes and Burrow. Mike Tomlin is going to be on a network broadcasting. Making that kind of a prediction off of the final 6 games of a 17-game season is a bit of a reach. Cowherd is clearly saying that he expects the Pittsburgh Steelers to have a bad season this year. However, the prediction that Tomlin is going to be on a network broadcasting is a major miss as well. If the Steelers were to move on from Tomlin, he would be scooped up by another team in no time. He is truly one of the best coaches in the NFL. Looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, it appears that they have improved from last season. To those that don't remember, Tomlin led the team to the playoffs with very poor quarterback play. Pittsburgh got better this offseason, not worse. Obviously, the season has to be played and anything could happen, but Tomlin is in a much better place with a much better roster than he had in 2023. Making these kinds of prediction before the season even begins makes no sense. If anything, it's trying to manipulate people into clicks. It will be interesting to see how Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers start out their 2024 campaign. They have quite a few new faces on the roster and hopefully they can all come together quickly. With Tomlin leading the way, the playoffs are always a very real possibility. Even before the schedule was laid out, the Pittsburgh Steelers had one of the toughest slates of games in the entire NFL. Then the official schedules came out and the way the league broke down the games, it made the challenge even harder. This was a sentiment team president Art Rooney too shared rather subtly when he spoke to Steelers reporter Missy Matthews shortly after the schedule announcement. "Not exactly how I would have drawn it up, but we've got to do the best we can," Rooney said. The Steelers face an incredible amount of hurdles on this schedule, including having all 6 AFC North matchups in the final 8 games. A brutal 3-game stretch in 10 days in December follows 3 primetime games in 4 weeks in October. Mike Tomlin is headed into his 18th season as the Steelers' head coach and he's never had a losing season. There's no denying the schedule puts that streak in serious jeopardy. And you fan, what do you think of the Mike Tomlin situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.